Right. Welcome to the Visionettes, everybody. We are so excited to have you all here today, and we cannot wait to show you the portfolio and everything that our members have created. And we're ready to share all the hard work that everyone has done. And we're just so happy that you're able to be here with us.
Yes, this is our end of the semester event. This is the event where we see all of the hard work that has gone into this semester, and we get to all celebrate it together. And so for our agenda this evening, we're first planning on discussing our officer elections for next year and discussing re-elections of some of our current officers. We're then going to move into our founding member certificates. And then we're also going to ask you to complete by Saturday a survey just sort of asking, this is our first semester. What can we improve on for next year? What maybe we should not do, what we did really well, just sort of asking for your feedback and what were your impressions of this past semester. And then of course, talking about summer, what is Hidden Visions going to be doing over the summer? Well, first of all, relaxing after this crazy semester. But second of all, we're going to be planning for an even better next year when we all come back together in person on campus. And of course, that goes into fall recruitment. So yes, talk to your friends, your roommates, potential family members. We would love to see this organization grow. We know we can be such a huge influence on everyone, and we just want to see all of these creative ideas from all sorts of people come to life. And then lastly, like Cole mentioned, we're going to discuss how the Visionettes are going to be working virtually. So even though we would love to be in person and just sort of, socializing and really seeing each other and diving into all of these creative projects, we think we've found a way that, despite COVID, despite Zoom, we can still be able to celebrate these projects. And of course, after explaining it, we're going to dive right into the Visionettes, the main event of the evening.
All right, so really quick, for those of you who are new here and don't know us, I am Tara Gravel. I am co-president of Hidden Visions.
And I'm Haley Zeisler. I am the other co-president of Hidden Visions.
She was unable to make it today. Yeah. But she is our treasurer, and we are super happy and lucky to have someone who's helping us through our financial stuff.
Exactly.
I'm Jenna Straw. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
I'm Cole Davidson, and I am the Public Relations Officer.
And I'm Marguerite Arbogast, and I am the Secretary. And I am going to launch into the first of our announcements for the members, officer elections / re-elections. So, little bit of business. We're going to get through it. As per our Constitution, we want to offer up some of our officer positions for re-election: Chief Marketing, Secretary, Treasurer, and Public Relations. Unfortunately, because Cole is leaving us, he is graduating this semester, so Public Relations position is running uncontested. The other three are running for re-election. So if you are interested in becoming an officer, we would love to have you join us. It's been such a wonderful ride, and we would love to have you. I am about to pop a link in the chat for everybody. If I can figure it out, there we go. And so that's the officer interest form that will also be emailed to you for your convenience. So check that out if you have any interest whatsoever.
All right, and so because this is our first semester operating with all of you wonderful people, we wanted to do something special to celebrate. We've been working really hard since October to get this organization running. A lot of effort went into it, and we are so happy with how this first semester turned out. Thanks to all of you for joining and contributing and showing up today. So we have made some certificates for you, and those will be sent out to your email at 5:30. Just please keep an eye out for them. And we just really wanted to say thank you for making our vision, this club, a reality. It means so much to us, and we really hope to see you again in the fall.
Yeah, and just everyone, I want you to know how much this really means to all of us. This Hidden Visions as a whole really started as a hidden vision. This was not something that we realized we were going to be able to come up with during the pandemic. So the fact that you all came and allowed us to make this happen, really big from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's meant a lot to have all of you come and support us, and then also just make creations and flex your creative muscles during the pandemic. That's incredible and just a huge accomplishment. And I'm just so fortunate to have this wonderful community to do this stuff with. So thank you so much.
Yes, like Tara was mentioning, I am so proud of this organization, and I am so honored to have been a part of this organization at the U. And I just want to thank each and every member for trusting us in this very first semester. And I am so appreciative of all the opportunities that you all are giving us. And that sort of leads us into our banner for next fall. So these are the images that were sent in. Now, because we are remote, we are doing, Zoom University, we were unable to have a big group Hidden Visions photo. And so this was second best, but this was our group photo for the semester. And I am so proud of each and every member to have made this come true. And we will be using this image next year to recruit for even more members to come join us.
Alrighty, I'm back for some more business and another link in the chat for the members. So this one, like Haley mentioned, this is just some feedback for us. How was your semester? How did things go being a part of the group? What can we improve upon for you next year? So I am going to put that in the chat, and as well check your email after the event in a couple of hours for all of these links to come back, but it's there for your convenience. Just very quick feedback, a couple of quick questions that we have for you, and we would greatly appreciate it if you would send that in to us by Saturday night at the latest so that we can get started on implementing that feedback and brainstorming those ideas. So again, very quick, should not take too much of your time. It's there in the chat for your convenience and will be emailed to you as well.
So moving ahead, here is a rough timeline of what we are hoping to accomplish. Tonight is obviously the Visionettes, and we are very excited to spend this evening celebrating all the work we've made, but we're planning on doing more afterwards. So we hope that anyone that is interested will fill out the officer election form by the 22nd of May. And then you will have until May 29th to vote on anyone that has decided to run for election. And then we will have the new officers set up so we can begin working and planning for the fall. This summer, we don't have anything planned logistically, like any sort of organized meetings. We do have some committees that will be doing some of their own work, but no group structured meetings right now. Just have fun, unwind, be creative. And then in the fall, we are hoping to start things off with recruitment and with pitches again. So we really hope to see all of you in the fall when we are all back on campus, and we'd be very excited to have you back.
Yeah, so a little more about fall. We are very much looking forward to starting up a great semester again next semester with all of you there. We hope to see all of you back as Hidden Vision members, as well as welcome some new faces. So some of what we're looking for recruitment for next fall is we plan to be attending the Fall Welcome Week events, including the activities fair, the Paint the Bridge events. So we'll send out more information about that when we have information from the university. So just stay tuned for that over the summer, and we'll get back to you on that for sure. We hope that you can join us. And then also stay tuned. Hidden Visions, we're planning to start like a new Facebook page and starting a newsletter. So keep your eyes on your email. We'll be sending information out about those as time goes on, and hopefully some other forms of communication, depending on what suggestions you guys come up with in the survey as well. So please keep sharing the word about our organization. Your recruitment is one of the biggest impacts we have in getting some members. So if you have a friend that you think would be interested, please let them know. And hopefully next semester we can hit the ground running and just have a great next fall semester.
And talk to the incoming freshmen too. We would
Yes.
love to see them when they're coming onto campus. We want to help them, welcome them to our University of Minnesota community, and welcome them to our Hidden Visions community as well.
All right, so now to move on to this evening. We are just about ready to get started with the Visionettes. And so how we're planning to do that this evening is we've made an online website that will act as a portfolio where you can view all of the work that these committees have submitted. This may include like scripts or images to full recorded scenes and audio dramas. The format's going to be open house, so you are welcome to come and go, explore what you'd like, and then you can use this Zoom meeting as a way to connect and discuss or complement all of the work that you've seen. And the best part is that we're going to keep the website up after tonight, so you can revisit it whenever you'd like. or you can share it with others and they can view it if they weren't able to make it tonight. We are going to be available until 7 o'clock, and you can stay in this meeting, after which we are going to close up. But in that time, you can just chat and we'll answer any questions you have. A couple of different tips as to maybe how you want to set up your viewing experience. You could use 2 different devices and say, try to communicate with us on your phone, like in a Zoom meeting, and then just use your computer to browse the website. If you're feeling tech savvy, you could also just, in the settings on the taskbar, the desktop icon at the bottom, you could mute this Zoom meeting. And then that way you're not going to be bombarded by any sort of comments that you may interrupt your viewing experience. And then you can just unmute it and contribute when you'd like. Just a couple of thoughts as to how you may want to organize this.
All right, and before we unveil the portfolio to all of you, we're moving on to what we're going to call the director's cuts. So we're just going to open up the floor for any of the creators to mention any details they want to share, any behind the scenes info, any details as to their projects before everyone gets to see their work. So we're going to start off with from the other side of the room. Marguerite, do you have anything you'd like the audience to know?
Sure, I'll just say a brief little piece and then I'll hand it over to Matthew, who is my collaborator in this sort of audio experiment. So what you're going to hear is from the other side of the room, it's an audio drama, sort of a companion piece to the classic cult film The Room by Tommy Wiseau. Of course, for anyone who's familiar with that, it's a very interesting little film. And when I watched it, I immediately went, okay, what would happen if we heard the other side of the story? I've never really considered myself a writer, so this was my first time jumping into that, and Matthew was so amazing in jumping into that with me, and I'm excited to hear people's thoughts on it.
Yeah, it was a really fun project to work on. It was very interesting to see another perspective of this film. Like, I was in film school around the time this was starting to become popular again with the spin-off with the Franco boys. And so I saw the original film and I'm like, what the heck is this thing? And so I was able to research it more, and there was just learning there's a lot more to it and adding sort of to that mythology. Just made it really, really special and really incredible to experience. So I thank Marguerite for doing this and including me.
Awesome. I guess we can move on to horror in space. Haley, do you want to start off this one?
Absolutely. I was so proud to have worked on Horror in Space, the murder mystery audio drama, which gets its roots from the game Among Us. And so Among Us was really big, and what happens in that game is you have an alien imposter, and they're masquerading as one of the crew members, and they're slowly trying to kill off the crew members. And so as time goes on, you have to catch the imposter, otherwise game over. And so what we did was we decided we were going to make an audio drama, bring the game to life, create these characters from the game. What would, Hazel look like? What would Cole look like? Or Captain Redford? And I thought it was very clever that our writers would name these characters after actual colors, just like in the game you choose a color. And so I asked all of my committee members, my wonderful committee members, without whom this would not have been even possible to do so, to just share some of their behind the scenes thoughts in this director's cut. So, Jenna, my other audio editor, would you like to start?
Sure. Yeah. I edited the sound effects for our episodes. We have a 4-episode arc. And I would take Haley's lovely handiwork and I'd pay close attention to the scripts that Cole and Nikki collaborated on and tried to accentuate everything as best I could and get all their little sound effects in there. And I think it turned out really, really cool. I'm really proud of it. And yeah, the writing for this just is so clever and I love it so much. So I'm excited to hear what Cole and Nikki may have to share about that process.
Yeah, so this was also my first time writing anything. And so I was, first of all, very happy to collaborate with Nikki. She has made a lot of wonderful work and we've been in classes together in the past. So I was always really excited about working with her. And we both ended up coming up with a lot of really good ideas, and we'd bounce off of each other when we were writing these scripts. And I think we really did end up hitting our stride around episodes 3 and 4. Definitely my favorite episode is 3. And it was also really fun to try to like be a little cheeky, make things a little more like meta, even though we were trying to go for this more serious mystery like vibe. But it was a lot of fun, and I definitely learned a lot about writing and collaborating that I will use in future projects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was definitely an interesting thing to take on, and really, honestly, kind of challenging for me because I've written a lot of stuff, but I've never tried a murder mystery before. And I am definitely glad I was working with someone else because I tend to have wild and crazy ideas in the middle of writing. So I am very happy that Cole did allow us to go with the allusions to this weird alt history America meta universe, because the project has kind of expanded now into doing a series of horror-based mystery podcasts set in different time periods, and each different series of the horror anthology podcast. And don't know if I will continue to write all of those, but I'm definitely excited to see where this keeps going, and I will continue being a part of it and performing in it.
Well, as Nikki mentioned, we are planning on expanding it into the horror anthology. And so we are going to have several different themes of a horror murder mystery. And we did find that over this past semester, being remote, it was a very easy project to be working with people who could very well be across the country. And so this will be a continuing pitch that we will bring up to Hidden Visions because it works so well with our asynchronous members as well. All right, and that is Horror in Space, and we may be biased, but I cannot wait for you guys to hear it.
All right. And next would be 20, which is a short film that's in development. Nikki, I know you just spoke a bit about Horror in Space, but as the author of 20, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Regarding 20, I am ecstatic about the entire cast and crew that I've gotten to work with. We have a wonderful group of people that are offering, let's just face it, a decent amount of their summer to helping make this ridiculous gay rom-com that I wrote in 2 weeks come to life. I have absolutely adored the version, the cut of the scene we filmed that we have now, and I am super excited for you all to get to read the script and see the little bit that we've worked on it to kind of get a feel of what 20 is really going to be and what it's going to be about. And I'm definitely excited to tell it because it is definitely comedic and definitely a very lighthearted and fun, jokey, humorous story, but it also deals with things that are very near and dear to my heart as a queer person, the experience of being closeted and the fear of being genuine about yourself. I think especially in comedic settings, it's very important to and very exciting to be able to explore that kind of thing because a lot of the representation that people such as myself get is a representation of extreme trauma. And I like to be able to explore that serious topic in a way that's more accessible and doesn't force people like myself to face down that same thing, the same things that they may have otherwise undergone. But again, we have a cut scene of one of the early sequences where Jesse is conversing with the main character, Hannah, in order to start the whole process of going down the bucket list of edgy, rebellious teenage activities before she's no longer a teenager. I'm ecstatic that it's here and excited for you all to watch.
Awesome, thank you. I'm very excited I haven't watched the cut yet, so I'm excited to watch it tonight for the first time. And next would be Kiefer Court. Tara, do you want to start off this one?
Sure. I'm actually going to hand it over to Sabrina. I know that she had some words that she would like to say, so I'm going to hand it over to her.
All right, so this is a short documentary that we've been working on, me, Nikhil, and Tara, and we didn't get it fully done. There's like 4 minutes of it, and it's pretty much about the effects that COVID had on small local businesses in Minneapolis. And we chose Kiefer Court because they're a family-owned Chinese bakery, and it it was just very interesting to like get in there and be able to film inside the restaurant and see, you know, the impact that the community has had on their business and how they're thriving now because the community came together. So I'm excited for you guys to see that. So.
Yeah, and just as a whole, like it's an amazing process to watch as Michelle, the person who owns the business. It's just amazing to watch her speak about how the community has impacted them, and then as well as like what the community means to her and how she wants to give back to the community. So the clip that we put together, she's just kind of speaking to everything that a little bit how the pandemic has affected them, but also the way that they've overcome it through the support and love of the community, as well as how they are trying to support and give love to the community back. It's a really wholesome piece, and like the more as we continue to work on it, the more that we get done, we definitely want to highlight some other aspects of the project as well. We want to focus on the history of the business and how they've come up, as well as focusing a little bit on the items that they're selling and how they have changed their business over time. It's just, the business is really, going in there was really wholesome, and we learned a lot about it and about the family community there. It's just incredible. So little pitch here, go eat at Kiefer Court because their food is absolutely amazing and they're just really wonderful people.
Yeah, they're very wholesome, and I'm excited to show you guys this project. It's been fun. So
Awesome, very exciting. And lastly is going to be the Nazis in the attic next door. So Tara or Andy, maybe if you want to say anything about that before everyone sees it.
Or Matthew, Matt, he was an instrumental player in this whole thing. Are you there, Matt?
Yeah, I'm here. Andy, would you like to start since it was your project firsthand?
Well, no, I don't want to start, only because you're a much more eloquent and glib person than I am.
Okay then. Yeah, so the Nazi Next Door, these are all true stories told by our very own Andy Halpert. These were true life stories that he experienced. So like the main story was about when he first got his house and he met his next door neighbor, and he would later find out that his neighbor had actual Nazi uniforms in his attic, not replicas, like actual World War II Nazis. And he would and Andy struggled to react to how to express these emotions to his neighbor. And so that's what the stories were about, finding your voice in these situations. And other stories he talked about were when he accidentally drove to a Ku Klux Klan rally, and when someone shouted racist remarks at him during a talent show he was hosting. And so we were asking people, if this was you, how do you react? And so we're now going to plan to send these videos out to people and hopefully have them record the reactions so we can get like an overall, so we can get people thinking, if that makes sense. Andy?
Matthew, I think you did a fine job. No one could have articulated it better than you, which might be a fib, but it sounded good.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to it too. I mean, everything Matthew said, and then just when we went and filmed on the day that we went in person to get all the footage, it's just, again, like these are moments that I really appreciate, going in person and actually doing these filming sessions. I always get a little bit worried. I'm like, oh, how's it gonna go? What if we miss something? But when you're actually there on the spot, it all comes together, and the team, the dynamic, everyone's just working so great together. So just a little behind the scenes there. I'm really grateful for the great work that Matthew, Andy, myself, and Lucy, our editor, put into this project. It's been really phenomenal, and Andy is an absolutely amazing storyteller, so we are excited for you to see his work on the portfolio, his story.
All right, well, if anyone has anything else, any last comments they'd like to add, go for it. Otherwise,
Well, we do want to say congratulations to our graduating seniors. We do have a senior on the officer leaderboard. Cole, our PR officer, is leaving us this summer. He's graduating, and as proud of him as we are also going to be so sad to see him go. But he knows that there is always a welcome seat for him at any of our meetings in the future.
And with that, welcome to the Visionettes. I believe we've got the link in the chat now to the portfolio. Please go ahead and take a look. And of course, thank you so much for being with us. We are going to continue to be in this room if you'd love to discuss all of the work and the wonderful stuff that you see. But otherwise, go, enjoy it.
Yep, this is your time, so feel free to come and go, and we will keep the chat open we'll keep this Zoom link open until 7 p.m. So we'll be here to converse about anything, and you can make comments if you want, hang out for a while if you'd like, and then go ahead and check out all the stuff on the portfolio. We are so excited to share it with you all. Great job, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Woohoo! And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask us. We're here.
Yeah, we're going to stay here. We're going to answer questions about the organization itself, but also creators. There are going to be people who are wanting to know all about your projects, maybe ask you specific questions. This is sort of our open art gallery where you can ask the creator themselves your burning questions. And of course, we have the open Zoom platform, so you can leave the Zoom to go watch the thing, come back, and then ask your question. But otherwise, enjoy.